Welcome to the Legal Tech League, the official podcast of ILTA's first sanctioned fantasy football league, hosted by Adam Wehler and Cheryl Wilson Griffin.
Welcome back, all of you wonderful fantasy football Denzians and whatnot. Welcome back, Cheryl. I missed you last week. And for those of you who are confused, there is a lost episode out there. I challenge you to find it of our lovely podcast. This is episode 4.
Right.
We got all the good podcasts, keep track of how many episodes they do. So welcome back from Europe.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun week. I got to spend a little time in Oslo, and then we had the Legal Tech Hub Innovation event last week. So I did not sleep for like 10 days, I think, but I'm all rested up now.
I could tell you didn't sleep by your fantasy football team output this week, but
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it seemed like one of those PlayStation games where you dropped the controller and just let everything happen.
I know. I looked and I was like, seriously, Kittle, how did I miss this? Like, what are you doing?
Without further ado, being that I am in Eagan, Minnesota, I feel like I did some talking today, and today's episode is going to be brought to you by Kroll On Track. If you are looking for great technology out of Eagan, Minnesota, and you want to travel back, 12 years, please, Kroll On Track will bring it to you. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that will say there's still a lot of great technology here in Eagan, Minnesota, but I am actually staying in a hotel where if I open up my window, I will see the 3-0 Minnesota Vikings practice facility. I am right next door.
That is so cool. I mean, they have been crushing it this year. I mean,
yes,
it's been amazing.
Yes. So did you have any perspective on this last week's games?
Oh my gosh, so many perspectives on last week's games. I was lucky enough, specifically to go to Sunday Night Football, Atlanta with the Chiefs, and it was a good game. It was a fun game. It was a lower scoring game than I think either you or I thought, probably. But I did learn a lot. And so I think this segment is called Things I Learned During Sunday Night Football in Atlanta.
I love it. Yes, let's hear what you learned during Sunday Night Football in Atlanta. Hey, the roof was open, so
yeah, it was amazing.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's so nice. That stadium's so nice. If you get a chance to go. The other thing that they did when the city built it, they forced them to agree to keep their concessions at a certain price.
Yes.
So like you can get a hot dog and a Coke and like chips for like less than $15, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
You can get a beer for like less than $7. It's bonkers. So God bless Atlanta, whoever planned all that, A+. Like everyone else should do it.
Yeah, bonkers.
So here's what I learned. One, I think I have aged out of upper level seating. The young gentlemen behind us there was like 10 of them, and they were probably college, maybe just out of college, drunk AF. And like going, like we were there like an hour before the game and they were already chanting. I was waiting for them to take their shirts off. And I'm like, wow, I haven't been up here with these people in a while. So that was intriguing. In related news, it's hot AF at the top of that stadium.
You're really selling it. You're really selling me going to this stadium.
No, just don't sit all the way at the top. I bought tickets on Saturday, so I was kind of locked into like the cheap seats. And plus, like, when Mahomes comes to town, I never saw so many teenage girls at a football game in my whole life. It was really impressive. I don't think T Swift was there though. I didn't see her at all. But here's some interesting news around the national anthem that I was unaware of previously. So we're standing there, and where my seats were, there were a lot of Chiefs fans around. I also had my Mahomes shirt on, so I seem like a supporter. So national anthem's happening. Everybody's like quiet and respectful as usual. They get to the end where they say "Home of the Brave," and every Chiefs fan in that entire stadium yelled "Home of the Chiefs" right at that last minute. So loud where I was like, what just happened? You know what I mean? And I thought, can you modify the national anthem? I'm not sure. But I did come to a secondary conclusion. I think Midwesterners are like a little looser with their national anthem etiquette than other people because Chicago, the old Chicago Stadium where the Blackhawks used to play, one of the traditions was that people would start clapping and shouting about 30 seconds into the national anthem. And it just builds to like a crazy rumble basically by the end. Whereas everywhere else in America I've ever gone, you like sit silently and respectfully, and when it's over, you clap. Apparently, Midwesterners are animals.
You
So,
know, I will throw something out. I think it's starting to be an American thing to do
ah,
stuff with the national anthem, and this is why. So, this is not a hockey podcast. This is a football podcast, but I lived in Washington, D.C., and at the Capitals games, when the term red, they would all shout red in unison. And it would be a thing. And I know at US soccer games, they also have their own additions to the national anthem.
that's
Um,
amazing.
yes, yes. So I think it's a thing, which is great.
I think
I
it's
like
fun.
creativity.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Wow, oh, I like it. So yeah, no, super fun. And then the last thing that I learned on Sunday Night Football in Atlanta was that Atlanta trails only LA and New York for celebrity sightings at a game. We had a concert by T.I. at the beginning of the performance, ludicrous. We had Devin Hester from the Bears ran back the most returns of all time, but Devin Hester was there because he did play for the Falcons. We had the induction ceremony with Roddy White and like all the rest of the teams into the Hall of Honor. But perhaps the best thing was the Joey Chestnut. How fast can I eat $20 worth of Atlanta Falcons food in less than 1 minute? I'm not sure I've ever seen anything so gross on a jumbotron. I
uh,
do. I'm like, you're gonna die, man. Like, I seriously think this is impacting your health.
that is good, and I encourage all of you listeners out there to educate yourselves in your own ways during Sunday Night Football, moving forward. The next segment, the badass of the week. It would be easy for me to give it to Josh Allen.
Mm.
It was crazy last night, but I would love to bestow the badass of the week to Jaden Daniels. He showed up last night in Cincinnati in a big way, not with just his legs, throwing the ball all over the field. It was just absolutely stunning to watch. I mean, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, a running touchdown. He is the badass of the week. And furthermore, that game, first game since 1940 in the NFL with no punts and no turnovers.
I love that.
Craziness, crazy efficiencies from both sides. So badass of the week, Jaden Daniels. Great job.
I also think that might have been maybe it was the second most exciting game of the week, but that was a jam-packed, action-packed game. And frankly, no offense to the punters out there, I'd be totally happy if there was no more punting. Like just score, score, score. Let's knock this out, right?
Oh boy, all the defenders in the world. I'm glad you don't play in an IDP. For those of you out there, individual defense persons. So there are crazy people in the fantasy football world that not only play with offensive players, but also pick defensive players. We'll never subject you to that.
Yes, we have one in my other league. You only just have one player, and so that's a lot easier to just pick like who's doing the most tackling. But yeah, that's a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah.
How about the Philly Saints game? Like that ended with complete bonkersness.
Yes.
Like what happened there? Like was everybody drinking? Was the ball covered in oil? Like what was happening?
There's a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, the 49ers choking away a lead to the Rams after Juwan Jennings just decides to have a day. It was, I mean, did the Jaguars just decide not to show up last night? Yeah, no, it's kind of just all over the map. Was it this? Who did the Cowboys play this week?
That was
Remember?
a good game too. Now I can't remember.
Of course.
Hold on. We're gonna find it because that's this kind of show.
Well,
Oh,
this is
Ravens.
the called the research side of things that, we try and do, and then I bring up topics without, you know,
It was the Ravens though. That was a great game too. Yeah.
that was a great game. But you talk about these teams that were, big time teams last year, the Cowboys, the 49ers, Detroit, like these teams just aren't looking great right now. And so it's kind of crazy, 3 weeks into the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of it's weird, right? Like the passing is way down still. They said I think the other day that it's the lowest it's been since like 2020. And I can confirm that based on Patrick Mahomes. Uh, but there's lots of weird things going on right now. I think we're seeing a changing of the guard though. I think that's where we're at, is the old dynasties kind of calming down and new dynasties like Buffalo, coming back, I guess, re-emerging.
I would love a Buffalo dynasty to come back. That would be lovely. So tell me a little bit about the NFC.
Yeah.
Let's recap the leagues.
Yeah, so the NFC this week had a lot of great stuff. That Walter Bice LLC, man, perfect lineup. 100% of their optimal lineup played. That level of precision is rare, A plus. Also happens to be the top number one in the league standings on the NFC side. So amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, what else? Let's see. Oh yeah, there was a poor blowout. Bulldozers got beat by a margin of 77% by J-Dubs 476 this week, but it happens to us. I played Kittle and he wasn't even in. Hilariously, I did finally put the Bills defense in, and unlike my prediction, they did get me 30 points, not 3. However, the Lions on my bench also got me 30 points and made me the biggest bench warmer again this week. So A plus Cheryl. I can't win on defense.
Well,
Does
you just
anyone want
can't.
to?
You should have played 2 defenses this week. You probably would have been better off.
I might won. That's funny. Anybody want to trade for a defense? Oh, this reminds me. The commitment of the week for the Ilta Fantasy Football League goes to Chris Ford. He was right in the middle on Thursday of emceeing the Legal Tech Hub Innovation event. I'm sitting next to him. We're doing all the things, and all of a sudden an alert pops up on my phone, and I look at it, and it says that he's made a roster move. I'm like, are you making roster moves while you're emceeing this event? He's like, oh, my quarterback's got hurt. So I'm like, Chris Ford, you are the committed guy of the week.
Yeah, so that is a shout out to all of you at Relativity Fest this week. I want to see those trades and those lineup moves happening.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's get some things going, people.
Yep.
Let's see. How about top defense of the week? I love this one. This is J Dubs 476 again. 40 points, Seattle Seahawks defense. What on earth? Was there even another team there?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy. Absolutely nuts.
What about AFC?
Yeah, the AFC is very interesting. I decided to, have a hard time this week. I think, I only managed 55% of my optimal lineup. It was a tough time trying to deal with, who to start and who not to start. And I think the biggest problem was Juwan Jennings has an amazing game and his 41 points are sitting on my bench. And so, I want to say that, like, hey, it happens. Team Bengals came up with a great win this week, and it was awesome. I shout out to Threat Level Midnight again, 99% perfect. They did a great job this week. Really rose in the standings. We have a ton of teams at 4-2. And it's kind of nice to see. Brian 808 had the biggest blowout, but again, this is one of the reasons why I love this format, because Heavenly Tigers still got a win out of it. Heavenly Tigers scored 138 points, but just because unluckily you played against the team that was 183, it is what it is. I feel like the AFC is also king of the close game. There was a game that was won by 0.3 of a point.
Gosh. I love that. Talk about a narrow victory.
131.98 to 131.68.
And I wonder if they've done scoring adjustments yet for the week or not. I bet that's today, I think. So you never know.
Absolutely bonkers stuff.
I love that. Oh my gosh. So what about, let's look ahead. How about that? Let's talk
Yes.
where we're going next. So I would like to point out that there's a great showdown this week by two of the top teams in the league, one of them being mine, and the undefeated Walter Bice LLC, right? 6-0, A+, guys. So that should be interesting. Walker Bice, favorite to win, but technically I don't have all the players in, so let's see what happens, right?
Yeah, it would be nice. This is now your second attempt to take on a top team. Please don't play a bench player this week.
I'm going to try to play a full roster this week. That's going to be my target.
Okay, good.
I think too, the other place I think that's worth pointing out is that there's some teams that have some really great waiver wire positions this week. The Menton Clark and the Bulldozers team, really high waiver priority. Go out there and get yourself one of those sexy players that's the number 2 behind somebody who's hurt, and start dominating. You got this.
And again, I can't stress enough the point of the waiver wires in both leagues. Please check the waiver wires often. There's a lot of players out there, and everybody is getting hurt. Again, I am in Minnesota Vikings land. Who knows? I mean, their starting quarterback has been a revelation, but he went down this past week. And so there's a lot of injuries out there that we need to focus on. And there always is, it seems.
Right, and it can change your whole league. I mean, your players all get hurt. It's like a clean team. You start over again, basically.
Yes. One of I'd like, I started a new segment in our lovely Lost episode called The Ghost of the Week. And, I'll have to look back to see, in that Lost episode, who our first ghost was. Maybe the entire episode should be our first Ghost of the Week. But who would you think this week, kind of comes to mind when you're thinking of a Ghost of the Week?
Well, I mean, my favorite one was perhaps last week's Ghost of the Week, so I can't use that one. Let's think about it. Who did not? God, there were so many people who didn't show up.
Yeah,
there were a lot of like unexpected players that played really well that were, for instance, sitting on someone's bench.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, again, I I think if I'm going to go with a ghost of the week, I think I'm gonna have to go with Rashad White for the
Oh, I
Tampa Bay
like that.
Buccaneers. It is becoming painfully obvious that his usage is, he only had 6 carries against Denver. I could actually say the entire Buccaneers offense was the ghost of the week against Denver. For those of you in um, eliminator leagues, you probably lost this week because the Bucs looked like world beaters and decided to lay an egg in Denver, playing Denver at home. Yeah, I want to say Rashad White. And the interesting thing is that it looks like Bucky Irving, the rookie is really gaining momentum. And the coach came out and said, hey, he's earned it. So I think the ghost of the week this week has to be Rashad White, running back, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lock it in. And, if you're out there, go and get Bucky Irving. If he's out there on your waiver wire, I think it's something special.
Yeah. You know what? I realized I was like, I know I have a ghost of the week. I found it because he was on my team, on my other team, other league I play in. Mark Andrews, tight end for the Ravens. I'm not even sure if he got on the team bus this week. I don't know what he had. He had 0 points. He had 1 target, no receptions.
Yeah.
Totally not worth coming. You should have stayed home and ate some cotton candy, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Love it. All right, what segment do you want to move to next?
Oh man, I feel like I think we should really look forward at some of the actual NFL games this week. And see which, ones we are really looking forward to. And which ones we feel might be, which ones we want to target and which ones we kind of don't.
Absolutely.
So, if I had to pick a game this week that and what is the NFL doing? It's another double Monday Night
I
Football.
was just gonna say last night I was like, what's happening? Where's this Bills game? And then I'm like, oh, it's the Commanders and the Bengals too. Okay.
Yes, it's
Oh,
another
making my life.
double Monday night game.
Yeah.
Great.
2 again, yes. Bonus.
Yay. Yay. I love looking at Buffalo and Baltimore. Buffalo once again in prime time. These are 2 big power teams with big, aspirations. Cook for Buffalo has been looking amazing. So it's something that is just, we'll see. I think I really, looking at that. That's one of
Yeah.
the games I'm kind of focusing on. How about you?
I'm thinking Seahawks and Lions actually. Both those defenses have been really brutal lately, so it might just end up being like a 3-6 type score. We'll see. But I've been catching up on my Netflix on the plane, and I don't know if anybody's watching the Receiver show on Netflix.
Ooh, it's a
Holy
good
crap.
watch. Yes.
So good. I'm like obsessed with Amon Ra now from Detroit. Like I want to hang out with him. I want to be his best friend. I like everything about him.
Yes.
So
And this is one of the first weeks I cannot make fun of the Carolina Panthers.
what?
Say what you will, but they put it together in Las Vegas, and they came out on top. And this is yet another, Cincinnati has to travel to Charlotte, and Cincinnati just lost to the Redskins, or not the Redskins, Commanders. Sorry, just lost to the Commanders, and Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle. We'll see. Maybe the benching of the rookie or the second year player at Carolina, maybe it's supposed to work out that way.
That whole thing is crazy. Number one, how does Andy Dalton still have full red hair and not an ounce of gray in it? Like, I don't know. Is he even aging? I'm not sure. But it's sort of like this is his second coming again. Like he entered the league when Carson Palmer was on lockout or holding out for a contract way back when. So he came out of nowhere then. And now,
Yeah.
like, I feel like everyone in Panthers land, based on what I've been reading online, is pretty much ready to like carry him wherever he goes now.
Yeah, well, and again, beating Las Vegas is one thing. Beating the Bengals will be something completely different. So we'll see. We'll see.
A lot of orange in that game between the hair and the helmets and everything.
Yeah, hey, it's all good.
Excellent. All right. So anything else that we need to close out on? Otherwise, we
No,
can get you
I
off
don't
to
think
your happy
so.
hour.
I think it's good. I hope you all at Relativity Fest and across the nation, if you're not going to Relativity Fest, enjoy this. Again, we'd like to thank ILTA and our sponsor this week, Kroll On Track. Again, if you like staying on track with technology in Eagan, Minnesota, it's Kroll On Track or it's nothing. So I think have a good week. And we look to see you next week.
Excellent. Well, thanks, guys.